singers who don't release well at a professional level are in the minority, but the reverse is true of everyone else. The average singer, if I go to, well, I say that, if I think about going to open mics, I'd say most singers probably are closer to getting in the right direction than the wrong direction. It's only people like me who think they're cleverer than they are, and think they can figure it all out, and then 5 years later, 6 years later, realise that their voice is in a complete mess. Those are the people that tend to sound bad and to push and lose release. Most often it's because they are applying logic and reason to something that should be learnt with mostly intuition and feel, and that gets them in all sorts of trouble, because the things that you need to see in singing are small enough that you can't just learn it A, B, C or 1, 2, 3 like binary. You have to be able to get into the mistakes and the details and the problems, and that requires the ego being comfortable enough to deal with that, and that was very hard for me, especially at first, because I was super defensive about anything that would question my power, I guess we'd say. But so there's a vulnerability in singing that we have to let in, and guys tend to struggle with this more than girls. Girls innately are more open in their personality and in their ability to be vulnerable. Men aren't as natural at that, so typically the hardest case singers are men, almost always, 99 times out of 100. Hence why most of my students are men, because the stuff I focus on is all this, and basically a lot of girls are like, this is why would anyone struggle with that? Now they've to learn some technique and stuff. A lot of them can't compress or squeeze much, but they don't have much baggage, and they're usually able to just let themselves flow and kind of be vulnerable. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. I particularly found this difficult.